Hello, welcome to another Bob Talk. My name is Bob Mitchell and I am the superintendent of schools in the Cumberland School District, and I have some really important information that I need to share with you. Actually, it is being called a once in a generation opportunity. And you may have heard about this $250 million school bond referendum that is being proposed by the governor and the general treasurer, Seth Magaziner, and voters will be voting on November 6th to hopefully approve this $250 million bond. Cumberland has already identified $83 million worth of facilities work that we want to do. So it will provide us an opportunity to access some of that $250 million. Now, here is the single biggest benefit of this referendum. So not only will we be able to improve our facilities, the most beneficial thing to taxpayers is that of that $83 million worth of work that we want to do in Cumberland, there are incentives for us to focus on certain kinds of things, which I will get into in just a second. But we would be able to be reimbursed up to 65% of that $83 million. So what that means is we could get in Cumberland $83 million worth of improvements for $29 million. And who would argue that that is not a huge benefit? I think there are three main areas that we want to focus on with with this $83 million. One is, most importantly, safety and security. So we want to make sure, unfortunately, in this day and age, we need to make sure that our buildings are safe. So let me just give you a quick example. All of the buildings need improvements, security improvements, at the entrances of each of our buildings. So for example, the high school main entrance is beautiful. Lots of glass, lots of open space. It really is, I think, an area that we could all be proud of. What we need to do is, we need to do some work to make the entrance to that, to the high school more secure. So there are plans to do vestibule work, not only at the high school, but all of our schools to make them more secure. So security, and that's just one example. Security in all of our schools is a top priority. We know that we're at a point where we need to do some work to some of our schools. For example, Ashton Elementary School is bursting at the seams with students. Ashton School is a 2-track school. What that means is there are 2 kindergarten classes, 2 first grade classes, 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s. We're at a point where we need to consider making it a 3-track school. If we, as a community, decide that we need to expand Ashton and make it a 3-track school, we could use this referendum money to do that work. Let me give you 2 other examples. One is community school. Community elementary school has approximately 630 students, give or take a few students. Large elementary school, and as we all know, it's a blue ribbon school, outstanding, one of the best elementary schools in the state, one of the best elementary schools in the country, in fact. Community elementary school has a cafeteria that is so small that they have to have 6 lunches. So they have to start lunches in the morning to accommodate all of the students in the school. Garvin Elementary School is in the same situation. That's a relatively large elementary school. They too have 6 lunches because of the size of their cafeteria. Now, these are just some examples of the kinds of things that we need to consider. And the third and most, I think, important area of focus is, and as the governor referred to in her letter, is what do we need to do to make our schools 21st century learning environments? And students will tell you that in most instances, the way that they're learning is not that much different than the way I learned 40 and 50 years ago. There is no question that in the world that we live in, there is much more collaboration, much more hands-on project-based learning. And the question is, are our current facilities providing us with the opportunities to do those kinds of things? So we need to decide as a school community how we want our schools to look and how are they going to accommodate 21st century learning. There are a couple of things that I think are really important for you to know. One is we need to support the $250 million state school bond referendum. We're asking for the voters in Cumberland to support the $83 million school improvement referendum. And remember, the taxpayers will get back 65% of that, and it will happen over time. It will not just be in one specific year or 2 years. It will be over a number of years. And I'm sure that people are going to have lots of questions about this. We're going to be sharing a wealth of information with parents and taxpayers over the next several weeks. And the week of October 15th, there is going to be a community forum at the high school, and we'll make sure that everybody knows what that day and time is, and we'll be sharing information about what we hope to accomplish as a district and the process that we need to go through in order to get this money. Thank you, and we are really excited about this, and we are asking for your support on November 6th. Thank you.